Okay, I want to say shalom to everyone. I'm going to make this a video, of course. I don't know how it's coming out, but I want to get into some information that was pretty much on my mind on how a lot of people are asleep mentally when it comes down to what's really going on in the world. And usually what lulls people to sleep is their job, or bills, and going to the park, and paying a car note, or just some sitcoms on the television. And that is the programming to keep people asleep, mainly the television. It's okay to go to the park and things of that nature, but when you go to the park, or when you go out and do your things, always have in the back of your head the truth based on what's really going on in the world. Now, what I'm getting to is a few things I've been looking up. A lot of people always go through this type of information in regards to the global economic collapse. All right, when it says global, of course, it's talking about the whole world. There is going to be a collapse throughout the whole world, but it's going to happen here first. When everything hits the fan, it's going to happen in the land whom we call America. Okay, which we call America. We call this place. The true name is Azareth in Scripture. Okay, this country was built on the bloodshed of the Native American Indians, which is the tribe of Gad, the Hebrew people. That's who they are. And the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is the so-called Negroes in America. So if this country was built on bloodshed, what do you think is going to come to the country that's built on bloodshed? And the reason why I'm going here is, and I cover this type of information, a few times, and I have to, based on a lot of our people are asleep to it, thinking that just because today was a peaceful day, tomorrow is going to be the same. When everything around you is closing in, the walls are closing in on you, but it's a slow process. So you believe that you still have the same amount of room, and you don't. Okay. Just a few years ago, and I'm talking about when I say a few, I'm 41, but when I was a kid, I remember, let's say if you needed tags, let's say if you had multi vehicles, if you had more than one vehicle or whatever, you can go to the DMV and get one tag for all your vehicles. You see what I'm saying? Now you have to go and get tags for each and every vehicle. And let's just look at even the gas prices about 40 years ago, okay? Around 30 years ago, 25 years ago. I remember when gas prices was $1.18. The lowest I've seen was 83 cents. Okay? $1.18, 95 cents. So you see, even your taxes years ago was 3%. Every year it goes up 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%. So that tells you that this place is falling. That's something that don't supposed to happen, people. That's considered what we call inflation, and and things of that nature. You know, I'm sure it's some more economic terminology that you all probably know more than me. And if I can put two and two together, what's wrong with some of you all that can't understand that based on what I'm reading in scripture, there's no other country that is manifesting the behavior based on what I'm reading in Revelations, based on what I'm reading in Isaiah 50. Okay? So let's just really pay attention. Okay? I'm going to show you a few scriptures here. Let's make sure this thing is still working. Okay? One minute here. All right, just go to Habakkuk, chapter 2. And we're going to go to the 12th verse, okay? And it says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. Behold, it is not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Most High, as the water covereth the sea." So that's what's going to happen. "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken, also that thou mayest look on their nakedness." And that's what a lot of people do. It's like, based on, it's talking about a country right now, any country at this particular time. But when you look at verse 12, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity." Now, like I said, I covered this on numerous occasions, but it's like people don't really understand. If you build something, you reap what you sow. So blood is going to come to the place that was built on blood. It's just that simple. Okay? Now, this is how you understand when you read in Revelations 18, when it talks about Babylon is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils. The reason why is because this country was built on bloodshed. Now, the Most High is going to bring fire and blood to this place. That's why when you read him, let me just go to Genesis 49. I'll show you. Let's go to Genesis 49. And I'm going to start around the 8th verse. Alright, now it says, "Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise." So these are the so-called Negroes in the earth today that don't know who they are in America. Okay? Now, of course, there's remnants of us scattered every place else, but predominantly, Judah is what you would call in West Africa, some parts of West Africa, and in the Americas. "Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee." So when it says thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies, it's talking about you're going to be right there, pretty much very close. Almost your neighbor could be linked in with this country that was built on bloodshed. That's what it's talking about. It's actually talking about being right there at the enemy's neck, like during segregation and slavery times, picking cotton and doing all the work that we used to do, slavery back then. Your enemy will be right there while you out there picking cotton, and you'll have some type of cot or some type of place to lay your head right beside your enemy. So you're at the neck of your enemy. That's how you know who Judah is. Okay? And this is the way you break this down, all right? Judah is a lion's whelp. Judah is a lion's whelp, verse 9. From thy prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? And it's actually talking about Christ. It's going to rouse up the kingship of the children of Israel, which is the tribe of Judah. They are the leaders. Verse 10, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So that's why you see a lot of whom people call Negroes or black people in America gathering all the elect. Okay? Verse 11, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garment in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. You see that? So I wanted to read that, because when he come back the second time, he's going to come back as just how the other nations dealt with us, bloodshed. He's going to come back and deal with them in bloodshed as well. So that's why this is actually talking about Christ. That's why it says the scepter should not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garment in wine. That's metaphorical. Okay? That's parables. He's speaking in parables here. And his clothes in the blood of grapes. Blood of grapes. He's washing it. I mean, that's how he's going to come back extremely angry. And he's going to take down all these nations that dealt with his people wrong, and that wants to sin on purpose. Verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine. Okay? And his teeth white with milk. Now, some people interpret this the wrong way. When it says his eyes shall be red with wine, it's not saying that he was just drinking. If he was drinking that much, he's drunk. You shouldn't drink to the point where your eyes are red. This represents eyes shall be red with wine. He's going to be like a drunk man, as angry as hell. Okay? That's why when you link it in with Revelations chapter 1, let me read that real quick to you. Let's go to Revelations chapter 1, verse 14. And I'm almost done. Revelations 1 verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. See, so this breaking down, this links into Genesis 49 in regards to his eyes are going to be, he's going to be that angry. Okay, you build a town with blood. Okay, I'm going to come back and take you down with blood. Okay, and that's why eventually when you read through other scriptures, it goes into how the doleful creatures and the fowls of the air will be eating off the corpse of all the nations and our people that sin as well. There's going to be a real ethnic cleansing in the earth. Okay, and that's what you're looking at. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. And he had his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword. That's talking about the scriptures. And his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength. That's why his star was seen in the east, and the sun rises on the east. Okay, so that's why that represents him being bright. And that's why when you read in Revelations, close to the last chapter, it goes into the description of the kingdom of heaven. Like the sun, you won't need any sun. It's going to be constant daytime. Okay, because that's how bright it's going to be. All right, so pretty much that's what I wanted to get into. I didn't want to get into something too much. But you know, I'll put up a video anytime I get some thoughts, because a lot of people are asleep. A lot of people really need to wake up and know that this country, that we were drugged here against our will, for one, that you love, just like our people loved Egypt. Okay? Because you had everything in Egypt. Maybe it's time to go to a wilderness. It's nothing new under the sun. Okay? That's what we gotta understand. So you're gonna be pretty much better off someplace else. All right? So there you have it. I just want to put that out there. See you all soon with other videos. This is my life, and I'll be doing this for the rest of it. Shalom.